Hey everybody, it's C here, and welcome to another terrible theory. This is not a remake of anything. This is a theory about Pokemon Legends ZA, or as I am calling it, Pokemon Legends Z. Uh, I've heard people call it ZA, Z2A, Z through A, Z and A. I've heard all of that. I just call it Pokemon Legends Z. Because Wingardium Leviosa. Uh, uh, I've heard a lot of people talk about what could potentially be the trio of starters for the game. And a lot of people seem to be pretty set. On Empoleon, Superior, and Cinderace, because it's based on England. It's based on England. It's based on England, and so they think, oh, what better starters than those three? Those three are very English starters. Empoleon is just Napoleon. Um, Superior is an England royal, and Cinderace is a soccer player, which is really big in England. So everyone just kind of like assumes it's gonna be those three. But I feel like everyone's just kind of forgetting the fact that the starters in Pokemon Legends Arceus did not fit Sinnoh initially, and they got entirely new final evolutions in order to fit. They got entirely new evolutions in order to fit Sinnoh and the region that Sinnoh is based on, Hokkaido. So I really don't think that the starters they choose for Pokemon Legends Z is going to be starters that already fit the theme. I think it's going to be different starters, and they're going to give brand new forms to these starters, just like how they did with Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, what we're looking at is we need starters that do not have Mega Evolutions. We need starters that are not part of the same generation as that this is coming out in, Gen 9. We also cannot use the starters from Gen 6, since this is going to be a Gen 6 prequel. We also can't use the Gen 1 starters, since they were available at the very start in Gen 6 as well. And we can't use the Pokemon that would fit best with the whole England gimmick. We cannot pick them. We cannot pick those. So right off the bat, that takes away Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. That takes away Trico, Torchic, Mudkip. That takes away Piplup. That takes away Snivy. That takes away Piplup. That takes away Snivy. That takes away Chespin. That takes away Fennekin. That takes away Froakie. And that takes away Scorbunny, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. I'm also going to take away the starters that were used in Pokemon Legends Arceus. They've already used those, so I don't think they would use. So I do not think they would use them again. So that takes away Cyndaquil. Takes away Cyndaquil. Takes away Oshawott, and takes away Rowlet. That leaves That leaves 9 options for us. That leaves Chikorita, Totodile, Turtwig, Chimchar, Tepig, Litten, Poplio, Grookey, and Sobble. Those are the 9 options. Now let's see. We have exactly 3 fire, 3 water, and 3 grass to pick from. So, what are we? Let's take a look. So, who among these could potentially get a new evolution? So let's see. In terms of grass, it's Chikorita, Turtwig, and Grookey. And between those 3, Turtwig is by far the strongest out of those 3. I don't think it needs a new form. Grookey is not a good starter. It could potentially use a new form. But Chikorita is infamously bad. Known as the weakest starter of all. It is in desperate need of a glow up. Personally, I think Chikorita would work really well as the starter for Pokemon Legends Z. If not Chikorita, then Grookey. Grookey would be a close second. I do not believe it would be Turtwig. So let's look at water. You got Sobble, you got Poplio, and you've got Totodile. Well, since we've chosen Chikorita as the grass starter, I do not believe that it would be a good. I do not believe it would be a good idea to have Totodile. In fact, I don't think it would be possible to have Totodile. So we're gonna cross that off. I'm gonna cross off Turtwig as well. So that means it's down. It's down to Poplio or Sobble. Poplio or Sobble being the. No, sorry. It's based in France. I got that. I just realized I got that information. I said England. It's France. It's based in France. Sorry about that. So between those two, Poplio and Sobble, Primarina is a much better starter. Than Inteleon. Personally, I think that Inteleon is the worst of the 3 starters from Galar. None of them are great. Cinderace is the only decent one, to be honest. But the other 2 are just terrible. The other 2 really are just terrible. They're by far the weakest starter trio we've ever had in Pokemon, in my opinion. But I do believe that Sobble would benefit from having a new form. Especially given how, Game Freak wanted all the starters of Gen 8 to be popular. But aside from Cinderace, neither of the other two were popular, so this would be their chance to give Inteleon a different look and make it look a lot better. I personally don't think Poplio is going to get it because it's already very beloved. So I think this is the perfect chance for Game Freak to give Inteleon some love and give it a new form that fans can latch onto. So, if we're going for Sobble for Gen 8, then that basically immediately rules out Grookey as a possibility. We were holding on to that just in case, but now that rules that out. So now let's look at Fire. We've got Chimchar, Tepig, and Litten, and all three of these would work. All three of these would work. None of them are from the same generation as Chikorita or Sobble. So, what should it be? Tepig. Tepig, out of the three, Tepig is certainly the weakest. Chimchar does not. Infernape does not have a very good design. It does not have a very good design, and was only an okay starter. But given how in Sinnoh you only had your choices of fire starters were like this and Houndoom, like everybody had a Chimchar on their team except for me because I was rebellious when I did my Shining Pearl playthrough, and mistake number one, playing Shining Pearl and thinking it would be good. But that rant can be saved for another day. So, Litten, no. Crossing that off. Incineroar gets tons of love. It's already OP as it is. It doesn't need a new form. It really doesn't. Because when you look at the starters that got new forms, Samurott and Samurott, Typhlosion, and Decidueye. Decidueye, while it was pretty beloved, it was certainly the weakest out of the three Hoenn starters. And did need a bit of a glow up. It was certainly the least popular of the three Alolan starters. And then Typhlosion. I mean, let's be real here. All of the Gen 2 starters were actually pretty weak. So it makes sense and Typhlosion was definitely the most popular out of the three. So it makes sense that that's the one that got the glow up. And then Oshawott, Samurott. To be honest, I don't really know anyone who thinks that the Gen 5 starters had excellent Final Evolution designs. Their stats were fine. Not the best, but fine. But I don't know of a single person who absolutely loved their designs. So all of them could have used glow-ups. So it seems like the Pokemon Legends games are trying to give glow-ups to Pokemon that need new forms. To Pokemon that don't not only need new forms, but could also potentially get Mega Evolutions. Chikorita would absolutely benefit from a Mega Evolution, and Teleon would benefit from a Mega Evolution. Between Chimchar and Tepig, which one would benefit most from a Mega Evolution and a new form, a new look, a glow up? For me personally, I would say Tepig. I would say Emboar. However, 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 given how Sobble and Chikorita are already getting glow ups, and neither of those were the most popular starters of the generation, I feel like they would want to have a popular starter among these three in order to make sure that everyone still has something to go with. So I personally think that Chimchar, Infernape is going to be the fire starter. It could potentially be Tepig, and I will I will box that in as a potential fire starter. But I believe that the final result is going to be grass starter Chikorita, water starter Sobble, and fire starter Chimchar. I believe that is going to be I believe that those are going to be our starter Pokemon in Pokemon Legends ZA. All of them are from different generations. All of them are in desperate need of glow-ups. All of them none of them have Mega Evolutions. None of them are from Gen 9. None of them are from Gen 6. None of them are from Gen 1. None of them were starters in Pokemon Legends Arceus. They meet all the criteria. They meet all of the criteria, and as an 8th piece of criteria, none of them fit the whole theme, the whole French theme of the region. None of them fit the French theme of the region. Chimchar is based on Son Goku, the Monkey King. Sobble is based off of a sniper, and Chikorita is based off of a dinosaur. None of them scream French. However, they could potentially get French-like evolutions. They could potentially get evolutions that could be very French-like. And I believe that that's what we're going to get. So, yeah, that is my thought process. It's going to be Chikorita, Chimchar, and Sobble. It's possible that Tepig could be the fire starter. And it's also possible that Totodile could be the water starter. Totodile could be the water starter, and it's possible Grookey could be the grass starter. I believe any of those are possibilities. I believe those three are possibilities. But out of all the ones that remain, out of all 9 options that remain, I believe these 3 are the most likely: Chikorita, Chimchar, and Sobble. So let me know in the comment box below. What do you think of that? Do you think I'm right? Do you think that that's the starter, or that those are the starters we're going to have? Let me know in the comment box below. And if you don't agree, let me know in the comment box below what you think our starters are going to be in the game. I would love to talk about this. I'm excited for the game. I cannot wait to play it. I was so pleased with Pokemon Legends Arceus. I absolutely loved that game. I 100%ed it. I never 100% Pokemon games ever, but I did with Pokemon Legends Arceus. I 100%ed that game, and I loved it. And I am pretty sure I'm going to end up 100%ing this game as well. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. Let me know in the comment box below what starters you would like to see for the game. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.